to you by
youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Good evening and welcome to the second edition of News Tonight. It's me, Micheal, Lukomwa, and this is what we have for you this time round. Uganda currently stands at number 7 among the fastest growing economies in the world, according to the International Monetary Fund, IMF. The country, whose economic growth rate currently stands at 6.7%, is projected to grow into double digits when oil production commences next year. President Museveni revealed this during the State of the Nation address, where he enumerated Uganda's progress in infrastructure, industrialization, value addition, and ICT, emphasizing that the country's economic growth and development is unstoppable.
Last session of Parliament saw government put into action many of its numerous plans. A lot has since been accomplished, and it was just timely that the President shared progress during his 2025 version of the State of Nation address.
In 1986, more than 90% of the population was trapped in subsistence farming. i.e., working only for food, with no surplus to take to the market to get money. There has been a significant reduction in the percentage of households in subsistence agriculture. They are now 33%, and you hear that at the beginning they were 90%. These few illustrations show that implementing the mass line programs is the most effective way of triggering socio-economic transformation.
Among the progressive sectors cited was that of industrialization that has driven the country's agenda of value addition.
Therefore, in line with the mass line philosophy of the NRM, we must prioritize the following. Number 1, peace and security of person and their property in all parts of the country. Number 2, accelerating industrialization with focus on building factories which use locally available materials as inputs. Number 3, export promotion and import substitution by boosting the domestic manufacturing capacity. Number 4, strengthening the private sector. Number 5, increasing market access for our exports, both in the regional markets such as East African Community, COMESA, among others, and international markets. Number 6, skilling our youth through the zonal industrial hubs. The youth will continue to acquire skills in tailoring, carpentry, metal fabrication, welding, shoemaking, weaving, hairdressing, knitting, and bakery.
The progress in tourism, coffee and fisheries did not miss out. He cited the same as catalysts for Uganda's economic growth.
The economy grew by 6.7% in the first quarter of this financial year, compared to 5.6% recorded in the same period last year. This is on top of the growth of 6.1% in the financial year 2023-2024. Economic growth is projected at 6.3% this financial year and further projected to grow to 7% in the financial year 25-26. It is projected to grow faster when commercial production of oil and gas starts next year. In purchasing power parity terms, our economy is projected to be $171.6 billion by the end of this financial year in June 2025. And next financial year, equivalent to about $65.7 billion using the Atlas method. This will be equivalent to $187 billion in purchasing power parity terms.
Part of the driving factors for all this progress has been transport infrastructure development, with more of such expected in the next cycle of development.
I wish to reiterate that the NRM is aiming at making Uganda a $500 billion economy in the near future. We have identified 4 key areas to drive this rapid growth. First is agro-industrialization. We must add value to the abundant agricultural raw materials that we, the wealth creators, are producing: coffee, dairy products, beef, fish, fruits and vegetables, cocoa, cereals, poultry, piggery, cotton, tea, etc. These value chains have a combined untapped value potential of $20 billion. Second is tourism and travel. We have a strategy to increase tourism inflows 5-fold by doubling the average spend and average stay time per tourist. Our tourism value chain has a $50 billion potential.
On political hygiene, in relation to recent NRM structural elections, the president warned against interfering with the people's mandate.
A leader should not take sides in the structures below him or her. He or she should let the people elect the ones they prefer. Whether you like them or not, you let the people elect. Because you are not the one electing. It is them. He or she should let the people elect the ones they prefer and work with them as long as they are NRM.
According to the president, Uganda's economic growth currently stands at over 6%, with the same expected to double when oil production begins. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The President has officially opened the 5th session of the 11th Parliament in accordance with Article 101, Clause 1 of the 1995 Constitution. Speaker of Parliament Anita Among highlighted Parliament's performance in the previous session.
To this end, among the bills passed during the 4th session are those that seek to reform the pension management in both the public service and military, and those that seek to enhance the growth and development of the private sector.
Congratulate Parliament and the Speaker for the bills which you passed. In my speech in Ruero, some of these bills helped the stability of the country, like the UPDF bill. UPDF is not a business company. To find a member of Parliament thinking that UPDF is a business company is really a disaster.
The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, said that in the new session, Parliament will focus on the common person and ensure legislation and oversight prioritize citizen welfare. Among the significant milestones was Parliament's approval of the NDP 4, 2025, 2026, 2029, 30, Uganda's blueprint for national development, which was symbolically launched by President Museveni at Kololo Independence Grounds.
Parliament, the government will present to you for consideration the following bills: energy and mineral development, the building substances bill 2022, Information and Communications Bill 2023, the Magistrates Court Bill 2025, the Workers' Compensation Bill 2024.
Also noted was the first ever regional sitting held in Gulu during the fourth session.
During this sitting, issues specific to the region were deliberated upon, and a series of community outreach and civic engagement were conducted.
Among revealed that a number of MPs had notified her office of their intentions to engage in political party activities ahead of the forthcoming elections.
Kagabo MP Bukoto South, from the National Unity Platform to the National Resistance Movement. Mapendusi Martin from Baradegi Laibi, from the Independent Opposition Leaning to the National Resistance Movement. Mpoga Matthias Nyendo Mukungwe, from the National Unity Platform to the Democratic Front.
She also emphasized Parliament's continued engagement in interparliamentary diplomacy, including cooperation with the Interparliamentary Union and the European Union.
Two sitting members of Parliament, in the person of Honorable Sarah Mateke, woman member of Parliament of Kisoro, and Honorable Mohammed Segrinya, MP Kawempe North.
The Speaker concluded that the 55th session will continue to prioritize government business. The State of the Nation address received in this opening marks the last under the current parliamentary session. I'm Nafka Farid and Gloria Gwitabinji.
Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has officially launched the I Lead Uganda program aimed at nurturing a new generation of value-driven transformation AI leaders. The initiative, spearheaded by the John Maxwell Leadership Foundation in partnership with the Ministry of Education and Sports, focuses on equipping Uganda's youth with leadership and character development skills.
Thank you for believing in the greatness within each child and for giving us the opportunity to discover our purpose, develop our potential, and rise as leaders of character and courage.
Launched in 2024, the program has been piloted across 29 secondary schools and 1 primary school in the Wakiso and Kampala districts. So far, it has equipped over 12,000 students with essential values and leadership skills. At the launch, Mrs. Janet Museveni, who serves as patron of I Lead Uganda, expressed gratitude to the John Maxwell Foundation for their investments in Uganda's youth.
The program has potential to revolutionize the lives of our young people and shape the future of our country, and we cannot thank God enough for it.
She celebrated the pilot program's achievements since 2024, recognizing the contributions of the National Advisory Council, led by Bishop Joshua Rele, along with educators and students driving its success.
This generation of young people are growing up in a world where role models are rare and our moral values are being eroded every single day. Indeed, now more than ever before, every child in Uganda requires our support in order to shape their character and their values.
Dr. Jesse Muyingo, Minister of State for Higher Education, welcomed the I Lead program as a timely initiative.
As we begin its implementation in Kampala and Wakiso secondary schools, we are confident that this will nurture a new generation of principled, value-driven leaders for our country. Young people who will uphold integrity, inspire positive change, and contribute meaningfully to our national development.
And we pray that its expansion takes place as fast as possible so that the country can benefit. Together with I Lead, we are laying a strong foundation for a future which is led by principled and visionary Ugandans, and we can already see samples of them here.
John Griffin, Vice President of Global Programs at the Maxwell Leadership Foundation, reaffirmed his commitment to Ugandan youth and thanked the First Lady and Minister of Education for their partnership.
Our founder, John Maxwell, has said that the highest form of leadership is self-leadership, based not merely on skills, but on values. He believes values are the foundation of leadership. That is why he authored the I Lead curriculum, which has already reached over 5 million students globally. Based on the strength of the content and the proven methodology, we are confident that the Ugandan students will experience profound transformation, as we're already hearing, as they internalize and live out these values.
Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
The Electoral Commission chairperson has warned the party aspirants in the forthcoming primaries against violence and voter bribery. He says such aspirants will be disqualified from participating in the party primaries. Dr. Tanga Odoi sounded the warning as thousands picked nominations to participate in the NRM primaries come July 16th.
Such NRM members who have expressed interest to contest in the primaries, the State Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga. He is the former mayor Kasese municipality, and then he became ICT minister as an ex-officio. And he now says he wants to go back to elective politics as a member of parliament for Busongora County West.
Kasese municipality is in Busongora County. But now I'm going at the border with Congo, where Bukonzo County West is. And the municipality, I played my part. If you reach there, you can see how beautiful the municipality is. And I now want to take the same experience, the same vigor, the same lobbying capacity to Bukonzo County West.
The Minister of Economic Monitoring, Beatrice Akelo, and the incumbent woman MP for Agago District is another NRM member who has also picked nomination form for the same position.
I have only served in my district for only one term. Even at home, when you marry a woman and you want 4 children, do you produce them in 1 year? You give space. So at least there are certain things I have already accomplished in 1 term. That is, I promise that if they vote me, since I'm an NRM person, we shall coordinate the people of Agago with the government so that they put for us L Center 4.
State Minister for Works, Musa Echweru, is another incumbent MP for Amuria County in Amuria District who is seeking for another term as their MP.
So I'm personally pleased to be a member of this party, very mighty party. Today I have successfully received the nomination forms after declaring my intention to stand in Amuria County. The good news is that I'm also the chairperson. A few days ago I was elected overwhelmingly as a chairman NRM for Amuria District. So I'm a chairman NRM for Amuria District, and the people asked me to help them reorganize and give the necessary vibrancy to the party.
Minister for Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Judith Nabakova, is yet warming up to face with the new influence in Buganda if she wins NRM primaries for woman MP Mityana District.
I want to confirm to the people of Mityana District that I'm now in the race for the Mityana District Woman MP. And I want to confirm that I'm more than ready to serve and work with you for the betterment of our communities, but also for the delivery of the different services.
Some of the incumbent MPs seeking re-election include Herbert Ariko, but he is moving from Soroti City East to Gweri County, still in Soroti District. Others are Nakaseke North MP Enoch Nyongere and Luka South MP Kisa Stephen.
This is a journey that we begin. We begin it in earnest, with hope, but with determination, that we would like to see in Gweri not just simply a change in leadership, But as President Yoweri Museveni said at the beginning, we would like to see a fundamental change.
There are many achievements that we have reached. We have so far completed the Castles Bridge, which could be easily termed as the Rugogo Swamp Bridge. And two, we have started on a project nationwide that if we develop this vaccine, we shall continue to have our animals better. And this has been from the start. We started by developing the vaccine itself and then construction of a factory. Now we are enrolling and having that company that is going to do the business part of it. We need to see it. And this will be a revolution in the...
I've been in Luka for the last 2 terms, and I've been doing so many things, including building schools, health centers, giving bursaries, helping the disadvantaged people, and I have come here to appeal again, so that they trust me again to serve them, to continue serving them.
Meanwhile, new entrants have also expressed interest, including in opposition-dominated Rubaga, Mbazira Musa, all determined to rewrite the history in their constituencies.
People have been following what we have been doing, so we are going to give them our best, and they are ready for us, by the way. We are going to have the first MP of NRM in Rubaga South, and I assure you, we have done a lot using our initiatives.
And we have so very many pressing issues. For example, we host the refugees from different parts of the country, and when they're in Kiandongo, the services or the resources that government sends in the district, these services or the resources are being divided into very many organizations and very many people. So as a member of parliament, if I make it, I have to have a discussion with the government.
The reason why I've come to get to know, to put in my expression of interest to contest as a member of parliament for Busia municipality is because of the impeding issues that my constituents go through.
NRM Electoral Commission chairperson has warned the party aspirants in the forthcoming primaries against violence and voter bribery. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
High transaction costs, regulatory hurdles, and poor infrastructure continue to hinder Uganda from fully benefiting from remittances sent by its external labor forces. Experts are now urging government to streamline remittance-related policies to transform these inflows from a lifeline into a tool for national prosperity.
2023, global remittance flows surpassed $700 billion, with Uganda receiving $1.4 billion, about 3% of its GDP. However, experts say Uganda could earn much more if systemic bottlenecks are addressed.
Globally, transaction costs around 7%. And like in Uganda, they can be up to 15%. This means 15% of the hard-earned money of the family members is not reaching the families and the beneficiaries at home.
It discourages people from remitting money back home, because if you're remitting and you're paying 15% of the amount which you're remitting, that is a little high. So at times, some individuals, as a result, are discouraged from investing home. Instead, they opt to invest their money from wherever they generate it from. And that's quite a challenge for us.
During the commemoration of the International Day of Family Remittances in Kampala, stakeholders emphasized the urgent need to address these obstacles.
We must design inclusive financial services that reflect their needs, reduce gender gaps, and empower women to turn remittances into assets and opportunity.
Family remittances not only support household income, but also serve as potential capital for investment, vital for low-income earners. Sarah Carl, head of programs at the International Organization for Migration, IOM, in Uganda, called for deliberate policy reforms to harness this potential.
It is important that we have an enabling policy framework. I commend the government of Uganda in the development and finalization where they stand with their diaspora policy and how they look at best practices in other countries, how we can further harness on remittances here.
The International Day of Family Remittances is observed annually to recognize the vital financial support migrant workers provide to families back home. This year's theme was maximizing the development impact of remittances in low and middle-income countries. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Minister for Information, Communication Technology and National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, has raised concern of the huge digital divide between the global north and global south, which limits access to vital services and hinders global progress. During the commemoration of the Data Protection and Privacy CEO Conference, Dr. Baryomunsi appealed to CEOs and private sector to close these gaps.
For Information, Communication Technology and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi has emphasized the critical role of data protection in safeguarding citizens' rights.
Privacy is no longer a luxury, a fundamental right. It is the ability to control who has access to your personal information, how it is used, and whether it is protected. And in today's interconnected world, where data breaches, identity theft, and cybercrime are on the rise, we can no longer take this right for granted, especially for us who are in the public space and participate as political actors.
The minister also revealed that Uganda has drafted a national policy on artificial intelligence and is preparing to launch an AI task force to provide structured interventions for ethical technology adoption.
Adequate data protection, private conversations, financial records, photos, and even biometric information can be misused, putting people's security, dignity, and livelihoods at a very big risk. And this is why data protection goes beyond compliance. It's about safeguarding reputation, economic stability, and future opportunities.
Meanwhile, Executive Director, Uganda Communications Commission, Nyombi Tembo, emphasized the growing importance of data privacy in national development, calling on all stakeholders to uphold ethical standards in data handling.
It's a pleasure to join you today for this important stakeholder engagement on data protection and privacy, an issue that has become increasingly central in our lives.
He urged stakeholders to build strong data privacy safeguards and be vigilant with their personal data.
A priority in every organization's day-to-day activities. Emerging technologies as biometrics, digital identity systems, robotics, blockchain, and artificial intelligence are a source of immense opportunities, but they also come along with obvious risks.
Held under the theme, Your Data, Your Right, Empowering Uganda for a Privacy-Driven Digital Future, the conference underscored the urgent need for stronger accountability and trust in Uganda's digital ecosystem. Mary Namkose, UBC News.
The chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development, Odrek Rabogo, has castigated some Ugandan politicians for spending too much time on politicking instead of equipping citizens with practical skills and knowledge to work, produce and improve their household incomes. Rabogo was making remarks during a working visit to Pentecostal born-agains of Nkonge village in Katikamu sub-county Luwero district.
The chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development, Odrek Rabogo, has expressed disappointment over the continued poverty among Ugandans despite the country's abundant resources, fertile soils and favorable climate, blaming politicians for wasting time promoting ethnic politics, hate, malice and blackmail.
We are doing this because the country has a target of a $500 billion economy. To get to $500 billion, you need $1 million, $2 million. So we, step by step, but we see where we are going, and I'm excited about the coordination with the church, for example, the religious leaders, the mosque leaders, the LC ones. These issues are coming up because we've taken the message from cities into villages.
Rwabogo says Ugandan agriculture and industrial products have potential markets in Africa, Europe, North America and beyond, but face challenges of standardization, certification, quality and quantity. He says he and his team are working to resolve these issues.
Education, it's patience, it is laws, it's enforcement, and it takes time. But I'm very happy with the direction we are taking, and I want to thank the President who supported all our ideas 100%, because he sees a rounded way to deal with exports. Markets, standards, infrastructure, export funding. That's the only way you can increase exports and create jobs.
He urged Ugandan politicians to dedicate more of their time to sensitizing citizens on production, noting that when people become productive and successful, leadership struggles and power retention debates become less relevant. Pastor Deo Musoke, the host, commended the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development chairman for offering a model farm and portray hatchery to benefit local residents.
We are going to offer our land here, part of our land, so that we can have the hatchery here and the model farm where people can come and learn and get products and get knowledge, and we know people are going to better their lives.
Steve Hodges, an expert in fruits and vegetable farming, advised Ugandan farmers to understand market demands in terms of crop quality, quantity, standards and size before venturing into commercial horticulture for export.
In many of these markets that pay their money, they require certification to a certain standard. They need to know that you've grown properly and grown healthily. If you don't have that certification, you can't sell into that market.
The Chief Commissioner of RDCs in the Office of the President, Fred Bamwine, urged every Ugandan household to rear at least one cow to benefit from its 7 multiplier effects.
I am well convinced and sure that the Ugandan population of 246 million, 20 million can manage to look after one cow. And once you have given me one cow of 20 liters, then you can multiply and see. This is about 40 billion liters of milk.
Bamwine also pledged to liaise with the area RDC to curb livestock thefts, which he said are discouraging some residents in Luwero from engaging in animal husbandry.
We thank you so much for watching. Let's take a short break. Keep it with us.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees.
I got to learn about the Powerball through the website www.nationallottery.go.ug. Played Powerball tickets worth 5,000, used an option of quick pick, and that's how I was able to be the lucky one to win 35 million. I checked my tickets online and I found out that I had winning numbers. The feeling was incredible and full of excitement. I would advise everyone who is 18 and above that whatever you're seeing here exemplifies reality. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Uganda National Lottery for bringing us this opportunity to win millions.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
All right, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
New Colgate Herbal with Salt combines traditional nature's herbs with a pinch of salt and Colgate Science. A natural recipe for strong teeth and healthy gums.
Are you a woman with a small-scale business with a dream of growing it to another level? The GROW Project is here to support you in realizing your dream.
The GROW Project is a government initiative implemented by the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development and Private Sector Foundation Uganda with support from the World Bank.
We support women-owned businesses across the country to gain hands-on and business management skills through training within your location, business financing through grants and affordable loans, and infrastructure in your areas of operation to enable you to increase your productivity.
If you have a business that makes sales of up to 800,000 Uganda shillings per month, the GROW Project has the tools and resources to help you succeed. For more information, contact your district or city GROW focal person or call our toll-free line on 0800 307 777 to learn more about how you can benefit from the GROW Project's services.
The GROW Project, empowering women economically, transforming communities.
Welcome back from the break and thank you so much for watching. Majority of health workers in the Teso sub-region have been accused of abandoning public health facilities despite receiving enhanced payments. Local leaders report that their routine monitoring has revealed a concerning trend where many health workers are spending more time at their private facilities, leaving a significant gap in the public health service line. These findings emerged during a 2-week operation conducted by the State House Health Monitoring Unit in the districts of Bukedea, Ngora, and Kumi.
In Teso sub-region have reportedly abandoned government health facilities to work in their private clinics, despite the government's efforts to enhance service delivery in its health facilities by increasing the salaries of health workers. Reports indicate that
a number of our medics, they spend much time in their private facilities. They end up giving less time within our government facilities where they are earning. Aware that the medics are the highest paid public servants.
These findings were revealed during the local accountability meeting known as the Baratha Health Forum, organized by the State House Health Monitoring Unit in Kumi Municipality.
A noble profession, and that if you're not cut out for it, get out, because you're going to get issues out of it. You've been given a very dangerous and yet delicate field to work in, that you can either give life or take it away through negligence.
The meeting followed a 2-week operation conducted in the districts of Bukedea, Ngora and Kumi, which led to the arrest of some errant health workers.
He's a health worker, he works in Halisa, but he had come to Kumi and was offering radiology services without Atomic Energy Council accreditation. So also that one was arrested. The other health workers that were arrested were in private practice. They were practicing in clinics or drug shops which had no operating licenses.
Kumi District Chairperson Nelson Elungat commended the State House Health Monitoring Unit for their efforts, describing the operations as a timely intervention.
Encourage all the health workers in the district not to look at this as a witch hunt, because I want to consider this as, a call on of a visitor to a family where even if you have taken a long time without having, a delicious meal, you will certainly have such an option.
Okou Joseph, UBC.
Following the presidential donation of 20 billion shillings to the Uganda Liberal Teachers Union members, SACCO, to improve their livelihoods, the funds have started reaching and benefiting teachers across the country. The Teachers Enterprise Development Initiative program is targeting over 200 SACCOs under the Uganda Liberal Teachers Union to support teachers socially and economically beyond their monthly salaries.
Over 200 members of the Uganda Liberal Teachers Union members SACCO across the country are expected to benefit from the 20 billion shillings presidential donation. The funds under the Teachers Enterprise Development Initiative program are intended to help teachers establish income-generating projects and reduce their dependency on bank loans. The President General and Chairman of the Uganda Liberal Teachers Union members SACCO, Evans Kaganyizo Mutesasira, was on a familiarization tour of various teachers' projects in Kayunga district. His visit also included the official handover of fertilizer and other agricultural inputs to teachers.
What we are trying to do as a circle is that this teacher enterprise development initiative is something new which we must get teachers used to. How? We have to develop these projects, and we are taking a lot of time to move to the project of the individual to ensure that the project is there, it is visible, and it is sustainable.
He urged teachers nationwide to keep politics out of the initiative, stressing that its purpose is to support economic development and enhance household incomes. One of the beneficiaries, Higenyi Isaac, a teacher at Chiribedda Church of Uganda Primary School in Nazigo Sub-County, is a farmer cultivating 5 acres of pineapples, bananas, maize, among other crops. He shared that he earns between 300,000 shillings weekly and 800,000 shillings monthly from his agricultural ventures.
For me, I chose to grow pineapples and bananas because this pineapple and bananas doesn't need a lot of time to spend in the garden. You can come visit or you can come spray, then you go back to your class during you can come during weekends and you do your work, then during weekday days you go in class. So that is why I chose to grow bananas and pineapples to boost my source of income and to have a side income.
Higenyi commended President Yoweri Museveni for supporting teachers and urged fellow educators to focus on income-generating projects alongside their teaching profession. He emphasized that this approach would reduce the need for salary increment strikes.
Relatedly, the Uganda Professional Humanities Teachers Union has threatened to lead arts teachers across the country into laying down their tools over unfulfilled salary enhancement promises starting tomorrow. This was confirmed by the union's acting president, Teopista Akelo, during a media briefing in Kampala.
The Uganda Professional Humanities Teachers Union President Teopista Akelo, who addressed the media alongside other union members, said they have written multiple reminder letters to the Minister of Public Service regarding the commitment to enhance arts teachers' salaries without any response.
On the 28th November 2024, a request letter was made to remind you of the inclusion into the budget. It is here, it was submitted, and it was received.
Akelo further lamented that despite several efforts to engage the relevant authorities on including arts teachers in the salary enhancement program, their pleas have continuously been ignored.
On the 17th of January 2025, another reminder was submitted to your office again for an invite for negotiation as far as the plight of arts teachers were concerned. The evidence is here.
The Uganda Professional Humanities Teachers Union has now resolved to lay down their tools effective 6th June 2025, which is tomorrow.
From 6th June 2025, kindly lay down your tools and stay home. Be tuned until our constitutional rights have been respected.
They say they can no longer tolerate what they call impunity, discrimination and unfulfilled promises from the line ministries, and are now demanding labor rights for arts teachers.
They have abused their constitutional rights because as teachers there must be equality constitutionally for every Ugandan, and these arts teachers also Ugandans.
Their core demand is salary equity with the science teachers in the 2025-2026 financial year allocation.
Salary enhancement for non-science cadres and non-teaching staff that was diverted in financial year 2024/2025 be reverted to the rightful owners, that is non-science, in the financial year 2025-2026.
However, the Minister of Public Service, Wilson Mururi Mukasa, has urged them to withdraw the planned industrial action, reaffirming government's commitment to enhancing arts teachers' salaries in a phased manner starting in the 2026-2027 fiscal year.
And since enhancement has been done in most of the sectors now,
The sectors remaining are really the humanities teachers and the common cadre staff. So government is committed to really focus on this, not in the next financial year, because it's now a bit late. Priorities have been drawn, appropriation of the budget has been done by Parliament.
The teachers have vowed to proceed with their industrial action starting tomorrow, citing Article 40, Section 3C of the 1995 Uganda Constitution and Section 57 of the Labour Unions Act 2006 as the basis for their withdrawal of labour. Amwai Vanjuko and Clement Wangira for UBC.
Women in politics continue to face targeted online violence, especially during politically active periods such as elections. This form of harassment often affects how they engage in social media, potentially limiting their political participation and outreach. According to a report by Policy and the Women's Democracy Network, during Uganda's 2021 elections, women were disproportionately targeted with trolling, sexual harassment and body shaming compared to their male counterparts. As a result, many women chose to disengage from online platforms, hindering effective interaction with voters and constituents.
About online violence against women in politics, one name that readily comes to mind is Livia Rwabogo, the former woman MP for Kabarole district in the 10th Parliament. Rwabogo endured an 8-month ordeal of online sexual harassment from a one Brian Isiko, a then student at YMCA Ginger Branch. Isiko, a complete stranger, persistently harassed her through calls from different phone numbers, even after she repeatedly blocked him. To make matters worse, the public reaction and media coverage at the time left her feeling helpless before the law. A widow who lost her husband in 2013, Rwabogo recounts the experience with raw emotion even 4 years later.
The way the media reported about this whole story, and it was Member of Parliament, MP cries in court over love messages. To them it was about the love messages, and everybody was wondering, this is a woman of 42 years. She's a Member of Parliament. Why would you cry? People think when you're a Member of Parliament, when you're a leader at a certain level, you do not have feelings. Everybody has feelings.
Some of these insults have even turned to be tribal. But I am not responding to any.
As WTN Global, we are marking 10 days of activism against technologically driven violence against women in politics.
A report by Policy highlights the severe impact of online violence on women in politics. Some have opted out of public life, suffered reputational damage, emotional trauma, or become politically inactive. Whereas men are more likely to face hate speech or satirical attacks. A report on online violence against women in the 2021 Uganda general elections reveals 18% of female politicians experienced online sexual violence compared to 8% for men.
That we can agree, whereas all of us can be able to speak as women on the internet. There's a certain group of women who are more targeted because of the positions that they hold in society as leaders or because they lead a public life.
Victims, they say, must be empowered to speak out. Advocates now urge government to intensify digital safety training, increase awareness of online abuse, and strengthen legal frameworks against cyber violence, while regulations must evolve to match the scale of these attacks.
So it takes you making this issue a priority to regulate her. The problem is sometimes we argue with people who don't have power.
We find that many women resign from politics because of the harassment, because of the stalking that they experience online.
Crispus Arinitwe, UBS News.
As Uganda joins the rest of the world in marking World Environment Day, attention has been drawn to the urgent need to protect the country's fragile ecosystem. Key among these is the need to address plastic pollution, which has emerged as a major environmental threat across the globe.
2023, floods and unmanaged waste characterized life around Sino-Uganda Mbale Industrial Park. Poor drainage systems, plastic litter, and industrial waste pose the serious threats not only to the environment but also to the livelihoods of nearby communities. But today the story is totally different.
They have put up the machines of high-level technology, so there is no pollution in Sino Industrial Park.
The recycling plant is now operational, handling both plastic and non-plastic waste, including wastewater.
We have wastewater which we generate from our production processes. All this water is not just released up to the environment. No, we just take it through treatment process. As you can see in the background, all these are our treatment plants, our treatment tanks.
Experts at the plant have demonstrated to us how the two core machines work.
The pump pumps that water from that stretch, taking direct to these tanks you're seeing beside me to clean and mix some chemical to treat, yes, like that. Then after treating, the other pump from the other tanks release that water, passing to this tank behind me here. Then taking it to the other black tank, the one in front. Then from there, that water again goes up to the machines.
The Mbale City administration has also applauded the park management, saying this shift has reduced the flooding incidents, which were frequent in 2023.
Environmental issues have been so much addressed that right now, instead of looking at the park as a problem to the communities, we are looking at it as a kind of solution to the communities. When you look at the kind of investment that has been put here in kind of recycling, retreatment and whatever, of about $2.5 million, this is a large investment within the city, and it is not something that the local authorities would have done.
When we started, there was a problem of the environment, but now things have changed. The water, they treat it from the start until the end, and then they reuse it within our industrial park. We appreciate now the committee is no longer complaining so much. Some of the drainages are being done to ease other things to be made.
As the country marks the World Environment Day in Kabale district under the theme Unite Against Plastic Pollution, efforts like those at Sino-Uganda Mbale Industrial Park offer hope and practical examples that sustainable industrialization is possible.
We have factories which are doing, specifically this one, it is doing textiles. We have a lot of offcuts, but the same offcuts are being used to do some other finished products. For example, pillows and other products. Meaning, at least we have less waste here.
From poor waste disposal to a multi-billion shillings recycling solution, it's a story of transformation, responsibility and progress. Deborah Namamonde, Tone Sennabulia, UBC News.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees.
A smile that is white, fresh and beautiful is a smile to be proud of. Discover new Colgate White and Fresh for the whole family with high quality and an incredible price.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
This is a short story about you. No, I don't mean that this is you. No, this is not you. This is me. Of course, this can't be you. This can't be you because you think these things of touring Uganda are for rich people. You think these touring things are for people celebrating anniversaries. This can't be you. Because you think to enjoy wildlife, you have to first put in a leave request at work. Chimpanzees are just a 30-minute boat ride from Entebbe. And you get a chance to feed, name a chimpanzee, or even adopt a chimpanzee. You can even actually use this as a rehearsal to see if you can really provide food for another living thing. God gave us a beautiful country on a budget. We don't have to fly there, we are already here. This is ours, uniquely ours.
You got us on your wallet! Bobby, again! What's the drama?
Drama? Colleagues, elections for special interest groups are calling. SIGs, elections, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time to vote for our leaders, June through August. From village to parish to district to nationals, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time, go vote your leaders. No! Hey, elections are supposed to be peaceful. Easy vote, okay?
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Ride-hailing service Safe Boda has partnered with Spiro, a leading distributor of electric motorbikes, to accelerate the adoption of e-bikes in Uganda, in a move aligned with efforts to protect the environment and empower hundreds of thousands of riders. Spiro has slashed the price of electric bikes by 1.4 million shillings.
Green sector is reaffirming commitment to reducing greenhouse emissions through strategic collaborations and more accessible pricing for electric bikes in line with the World Environment Day celebrations. Spiro, a key player in the e-mobility sector, has signed a memorandum of understanding with Ricky Rapper, a co-founder and director Safe Boda, to accelerate the uptake of electric motorbikes across the country.
If you ride an EV bike, you are basically talking for the environment. You are talking for noise pollution. You are talking for clean energy. You are talking for safer rides. We are talking for remember, all the energy, or most of the energy that comes from the bikes that we ride are part of the hydroelectric system, which is a much cleaner energy source, which we consume.
According to Gaurav Anand, the country director Spiro, the current penetration of electric bikes in Uganda remains low, with fewer than 2,000 units currently on Ugandan roads.
In Uganda, total electric bike which were on road were not even totaling to 1,000 bikes. So for anybody in country or on the community, what Ricky was mentioning is it was very difficult for anybody to have faith and confidence that electric bike can do the work what the existing petrol bikes are doing. But in last 1 year, as I mentioned, we already have 4,000 bikes on road, and which bolster and the confidence in the users and rider.
While policy support is key to the growth of the e-mobility sector, stakeholders are also calling for a shift in mindset among both riders and passengers to embrace sustainable transport alternatives.
Spiro accepting or requesting or signing a partnership with me
is a perfect opportunity for me to use my voice to amplify the message of the good work that Spiro is doing for the betterment of the industry. I'll tell you, part of our negotiation was that there must be something better for the riders when I come on board. And today you are all aware that Spiro has reduced its price from the original price of around close to 5 million, around 5.2 million, to now announcing a special price of 3.8. This is because I clearly said we need something that aligns with our value.
The partnership between SafeBoard and Spiro Uganda is designed not only for convenience, but also to empower riders and promote the widespread use of electric bikes, thereby contributing to environmental protection.
Uganda's Post Bank is set to enter a new era after registering a record profit of 35.4 billion shillings in 2024. The government-owned financial institution is now rebranding to Pearl Bank Uganda Limited, signaling a bold step in its transformation journey. Our reporter attended the bank's annual general meeting and has the details.
And presented what may be its most impressive performance yet, a 28% increase in profits after tax, earning over 35 billion shillings in 2024.
We posted 35 billion in profitability. But very importantly, that was a growth of 28% versus the previous year. And a lot of our growth was driven by growth in the balance sheet.
In just 1 year, the bank grew its income by 20%, deposits by 25%, and its loan book by 19%. It's now one of the top 10 performing banks in Uganda and one of the most profitable government enterprises. At the AGM, the bank also revealed its bold next step, a rebrand that pays homage to Uganda's identity.
The bank has registered strong financial performance across several parameters, and I'm sure you have already evaluated these results and they were published widely in the newspapers. I invite all the bankers, customers, and Ugandans at large to be part of this journey that will strengthen the bank's ability to foster prosperity for Ugandans through driving sustainable financial inclusion.
They have been able to drive sustainable financial inclusion by dispersing our parish development model, which is to bring our citizens who are not in the money economy to the money economy, and I'm talking about 31% of the population. And Postbank, through their Wendy innovation, have been able to disperse over 1 trillion under the parish development model to over 870 beneficiaries across the country.
The new name, inspired by Winston Churchill's iconic phrase, "The Pearl of Africa," is aimed at attracting strategic partners, boosting investor confidence, and expanding support for MSMEs and agriculture value chains.
We also wanted a name that fits in well with our purpose of fostering prosperity. So we researched, and Pearl is a very strong name because it's a symbol of purity, wisdom, like the minister said, wealth, and Uganda is known for the natural beauty, wildlife, cultural diversity. If you bring in Pearl that speaks to status, prosperity, wisdom, wealth, it fits in well with fostering prosperity.
You walk into various circles around the country, they say, "Oh, post office, you're the post office."
From digitizing payments under the parish development model to driving entrepreneurship, the bank says this new chapter is about inclusive growth, national pride, and economic transformation.
And that is all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Micheal Lukomwa. I wish you the best of the night. Bye-bye.